and welcome back to Stick It Down for March 2023, and I am going to be doing my creative version of this month's design. I am going to make a birthday card for my grandson who will be turning 5 next week, and I'm going to use this set from My Favorite Things called To Infinity and Beyond. I also have this interplanetary stencil from Trinity Stamps, and I made this stars stencil myself on my brother's ScanNCut, and I'm going to use this Maker Forte glow in the dark powder and put my stars on here so that my stars will glow in the dark, and I think my grandson will think that that's super cool. So my clear paste, my white paste got dried out because I just don't use it enough and it was old. So, and I haven't ordered more because I forgot. So I have this stencil butter and it's already green. So I don't know if I mix it with this, what that will do. Will it still glow? I'm not really sure. So I also have this, you know, the Ranger Perfect Pearls, and I thought about maybe trying to stamp it on there, or I mean, this is the sticky stuff that comes with the Perfect Pearls, and you know, it's kind of weird stuff, but I could try and smear some on here and see what happens. Let's see what happens here if I put some of this on here. I kind of forgot I had this, and then it was glowing on my desk the other day, and I'm like, oh yeah. It is sticking to that, but I don't know if it's gonna stay. I don't want just blobs of glow-in-the-dark stuff. That wouldn't look as cool, would it? It is sticking, but I'm gonna be a big glowing mess when I get done playing with this. I mean, this should be the moon, right? Kids think it's made out of green cheese, so I can make this the moon part. Let's just do a whole moon here. Making this a little thick. Maybe make some shapes in here, huh? To get some texture. The moon is not completely smooth. Let's see what else we can do. Maybe just some little dots. Since we have this, could be distant planets, right? So there's supposed to be 2 strips of paper down here at the end, and I might make them like smaller than the literal interpretation I did, because I want to make sure that you can see all the fun stuff in the background. So I sprayed this with water to you know, clean it up, and I was like, oh, let me just take a piece of paper here, and so that's all I did was kind of, you know, kind of like ink blending or ink squishing, but with this powder. So we'll see what that looks like when it dries. That might be kind of cool. So on a recent video I watched from Mary Palenko, I think, she showed to restamp your images after you color them because they do get dulled with the coloring. So I'm going to put my paper in the corner so that I can put it back in here when I'm done coloring. And I'm gonna keep these in here after I stamp, making sure it's nice and tucked in my corner there. And I'm going to use Memento so that I can color these with alcohol markers. And I don't have a smusher thing, so just use my hand. I missed his little arm there, so I'll get that. The spaceship a little bit better. I'm gonna leave those in there. I'm just gonna take a scrap piece of paper and put that in there so I don't have to clean them right now. Now that I have my images colored, I'm going to put them back in here. Let's see if we can. And they don't really look too bad, really, but there's a few areas that I use a metallic pen, and so it'd be nice to have a nice solid black line over that. And kind of, since I'm done coloring, maybe I will use VersaFine instead of the Memento, because this gives a nice sharper line. It's just not Copic friendly, so and since I'm done coloring, I can do this way. Oh yeah. Actually, that makes a huge difference. I hope you can see that on camera. It looks really good. So I'm gonna let that dry because VersaFine does take longer to dry and I don't want to ruin anything. So I'm gonna clean up for a second and let that. Okay, you can see the heat set embossed ones. And the other ones are showing up, but the problem is I think once I put a brush to it, most of it comes off. So you can kind of see them a little bit more since I heat set it. No, not really. This is glowing more than that, so I might just use that as part of our backdrop. We'll see. Okay, I've just taken my microfiber cloth and just wiped all the extra weird stuff off because, you know, it just didn't look like stars. So I do want to keep what we have. All right, so I cut this to 3/4 of an inch, no, 1 inch this time instead of 1.5, and this one is 3/4 of an inch instead of 1 inch. So they're a little bit closer in size than last time. And then I'm gonna just, this is a refill, right? And I don't need a lot of this because I'm not gonna paint all the stars. But I am gonna take, again, tightening this up so much I can't get it open. I'm going to take a little bit of this, and this is white this time, so I think it will definitely glow. Let's see if we do it with a palette knife. That's a little bit better, right? I cut out all of my shaped colored images here with their die cuts. I don't know if I'll use them all or not. And then I got out my metallic paint palette, and I basically used every single color to add more spacey looking space to my images, so, or to my background. So, because space has tons of stuff, right? Some of it's closer, some of it's farther away. I kind of wish I had covered up my moon, but you know, there could be stuff flying in front of the moon, so it is what it is, but I kind of wish I had covered that up so then it wouldn't be partially covered. I just glue some of the edges, maybe not all of them. I'll leave it kind of, it's popped up because it's warped, but I kind of think I like that here. I'm trying to be more creative with this one, but it's kind of literal. Kind of, sort of. Put that one there, one here. Cover up that mess, and I think we'll put him on a wobbler. If you haven't ever used them, you can make your own. I'm too lazy probably to try and do that, but there are lots of videos out there to make them. They are kind of expensive, so I am kind of picky, I guess, a little bit about how often I use them, but for my grandson, right? So I went back and I added both the other planets because the sentiment strip was long, and rather than cutting it off, I was like, oh, let me just put the planet there. And then I was like, my grandson would wonder where the other planets were. He actually was creating planets on Minecraft today, so super cute. And when I said, oh, I recognize Earth, he said, well, how come you don't recognize the other ones? So he would probably ask me where some of the other planets were. Now, I know this isn't all the planets, but these are the ones that are most recognizable, right? So anyway, that's what I did, and now it's on a card and ready to go. Thanks for watching, and you can find all of the details about the Stick It Down challenge in the description box below. Come again soon.